Hey everyone, just the other day I saw a trailer online and I was so excited about it that I decided, you know what, now is the time to do my most anticipated movies of the next year video, 2014. We've still got a few good movies left to see this year, of course. Catching Fire, Walter Mitty, Wolf of Wall Street, American Hustle, really jacked about that. But I already pretty much have, my big list for next year. My little wish list, my stuff that I'm excited about, so I wanted to talk a little bit about those, as usual. So, first some runners-up, ones that didn't make the top 10. Edge of Tomorrow, formerly known as All You Need Is Kill. It's based on a graphic novel. It's directed by Doug Liman, who did Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and The Bourne Identity. Tom Cruise plays a soldier in the future. He gets killed during a battle. He then wakes up that same morning and relives the day over and over again, presumably to figure out how not to get killed and complete the mission. Yeah, I've never read the book, but sounds exciting enough. Emily Blunt is in this, Jeremy Piven, and Bill Paxton as well. Map to the Stars. This is a film by David Cronenberg, and David Cronenberg hasn't made lots of movies that I like these past few years. Some of them have been unreasonably slow-paced as far as I'm concerned. Cosmopolis in particular was such a chore for me to sit through. But there are a lot of Cronenberg films I've enjoyed, and I'm never going to count them out and saying, oh, I'm not seeing any of his movies anymore. I'm definitely, going to give it a chance. Robert Pattinson, who of course starred in Cosmopolis, is in this movie. Julianne Moore, John Cusack, Mia Wasikowska, from The Kids Are All Right and Alice in Wonderland. Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, of course, and Olivia Williams from Rushmore and Dollhouse are all in that movie. One of the Marvel movies, of course, is Captain America, the Winter Soldier. The clip that they've shown of that so far looks pretty exciting. I think I'll end up liking it more than the first one, which I didn't really like all that much. It's directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, who directed You, Me, and Dupree, but to their credit, they also were producers, writers, and directors on the TV series Happy Endings and Community. So that's points in their favor. Well, they've never really done a film like this before with all the effects and what have you, but then again, Joss Whedon hadn't done anything on the scale of the Avengers before that turned out great. I really like seeing the helicarrier crashing in the trailer. That'll be fun. The usual people are in this: Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Samuel Jackson, Colby Smulders is in as well as Gary Shandling, who I guess plays the same character as he did in Iron Man 2, the Senator. Emily Van Camp from Revenge, and Robert Redford plays the top dog at S.H.I.E.L.D. apparently. That'll be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's coming out on my birthday too. Though there was one other movie that I was looking forward to seeing more on that weekend, that day. It's supposed to come out that day, but I forget which it was exactly. I don't know, we'll see. Midnight Special is the latest film by Jeff Nichols, who did Take Shelter and Mud, two really good movies. And Michael Shannon, who's starting to Take Shelter, is in this one as well, with Kirsten Dunst. I don't know anything about the story at all, but based on those people, I'm interested. Then, of course, here's a movie you've all heard of called Divergent. It's based on a young adult novel, which is now a trilogy. The last episode, Allegiant, the last book in the series, just came out. It was written by Chicago author Veronica Roth, who's pretty young when she wrote the first one. Of course, it's set in Chicago, and it's filmed in Chicago, which means they're putting a lot of holes in skyscrapers in the effects department. That'll be fun to see. Shailene Woodley, of course, is the main character, but you could call her Shay. All her friends do. Kate Winslet, Maggie Q, Tony Goldwyn, Ashley Judd, and a few young hunks whose names I don't bother to remember. Seconds of Pleasure. This is a film by Mike Figgis, directed by Mike Figgis anyway, who did Leaving Las Vegas, Stormy Monday, and a film I really like a lot, Time Code. But he didn't write it. It's written by Neil LaBute, who did films like In the Company of Men, Your Friends and Neighbors, The Shape of Things, Lakeview Terrace. He's also written a bunch of plays that have gotten done here. So that combination really piques my interest quite a bit. Matt Dillon, Christina Hendricks, Julia Stiles, Brendan Fraser, and Kirsten Scott Thomas are in the cast. Don't know anything about it, don't know what the story is. I'll probably just go in knowing nothing and enjoy it. Jupiter Ascending is the latest film from Lana and Andy Wachowski. Cloud Atlas did not do so well financially, but I thought it was really interesting, and I'm looking forward to pretty much anything they do. They've had their bombs. Speed Racer I really didn't get into. But I like Bound, and I like the Matrix movies well enough. Mila Kunis is the main character. Apparently she's destined to be Queen of the Universe or something outlandish like that. I don't know. I think they filmed some of this in Chicago as well. Channing Tatum is in this, but you can call him Chan. All his friends do. Sean Bean and Duna Bay, who had a pretty big role in Cloud Atlas, is in this, as well as, unexpectedly enough, Terry Gilliam, the director and former member of Monty Python. He's acting in this movie. That'll be fun. Those are my runners-up, and now for the top 10. Into the Woods is, of course, a musical, which I actually appeared in when I was in high school. My senior year, I played Jack of Beanstalk fame. It's directed by Rob Marshall, who did Chicago and 9 with Daniel Day-Lewis, and the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie to come out, on Stranger Tides, which I never actually got around to seeing. I was sort of done with Pirates at that point. Who's in this? Meryl Streep, Johnny Depp, Anna Kendrick, Emily Blunt, and Chris Pine, aka Captain Kirk. So, that'll be exciting to see on the big screen. Night Moves. Working on the Night Moves. Probably not inspired by the song. This is a film by Kelly Reichardt, who did a couple of really excellent films. One of which is frustratingly vague about its ending. That's a Western with Michelle Williams. What was that called again? Darn it, I can't remember the name of it now. That's too bad. But she was in the other film that Kelly Reichardt directed that I thought was one of the best films I'd seen last decade, and that is Wendy and Lucy. Darn it, I cannot think of the name of that Western. I'll have to figure it out later. Anyway, Dakota Fanning and Jesse Eisenberg are the main characters here. A couple of actors I really like, Peter Sarsgaard and James LeGros, are also in it, as well as Alia Shawkat from Arrested Development, and she was Ellen Page's best friend in Whip It. As you can see, I have all my little notes on here for each one of these. Now, Joss Whedon, of course, doesn't have a film that he directs coming out this year. We have to wait till next year for that. But he does, I mean, for 2015, we have to wait for the Avengers 2 until 2015. But he did write a script that's going to be coming out hopefully sometime next year. I'm not really sure about the release date. In Your Eyes, I have no idea what this is about. It's about the convergence of events surrounding 2 female characters. Don't know a whole lot about it. It's directed by someone named Bryn Hill. I have no idea who that guy is. Never seen anything that he did. The cast includes Jennifer Grey from the 80s Dirty Dancing, not the new one. Nikki Reed, who you know from Twilight, but more importantly, Mimi's First Time. That's a fun movie. And Zoe Kazan, who played Ruby in Ruby Sparks. So, good to see some Whedon stuff on the big screen. It's just a script, but still, it's better than nothing. Interstellar, the latest film from Christopher Nolan. Good to see Christopher Nolan making another non-Batman movie. This is about a space expedition to some remote part of the galaxy. Maybe they're going to travel through a black hole or something like that, or something radical. Apparently, he consulted with a lot of scientists to make it as realistic as possible. But I don't think it'll be as realistic as Gravity, because it involves people traveling through, faster than light stuff, whatever. That's usually not realistic for spaceships to actually do that. Who's in this movie? Lots of people. Matthew McConaughey, Jessica Chastain, Anne Hathaway, of course, was in The Dark Knight Rises as Catwoman. She's in this. Ellen Burstyn from Requiem for a Dream. John Lithgow, one of my favorite actors. Casey Affleck, Wes Bentley from The Hunger Games, Topher Grace, and of course, Christopher Nolan's good luck charm, Mr. Michael Caine. Sorry, Sir Michael Caine. The other Marvel movie to come out next year is Guardians of the Galaxy. It's directed by James Gunn, who did Slither, a movie I really enjoy, and Super, which is a movie I didn't enjoy as much, but it's got its qualities. Michael Rooker, who's in both of those movies, is also in this. Djimon Hounsou, Benicio del Toro, of course, you probably saw him in that post-credit scene in Thor, the new Thor movie. Zoe Saldana from Avatar and Uhura fame, of course. Karen Gillian from Doctor Who. John C. Reilly, Mr. Wreck-It Ralph. Glenn Close, Lee Pace, who's in the new Lord of the Rings movies, and a couple of voice contributions from Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel as a couple of the non-human characters. Should be a good time. It sounds kind of wacky. I like that, Hopefully it won't take itself too seriously. It'll be fun, and we'll get to learn a little bit more about Thanos. Thanos, whatever his name is, you know, the big bad guy from the post-credit scene from the Avengers. Is it possible that Reese Witherspoon is actually going to be in a good movie for a change? It's amazing. She's in Inherent Vice, the new movie by Paul Thomas Anderson. Really like the last couple of Paul Thomas Anderson movies. When I saw The Master, I didn't dig it that much, but I saw it a second time and liked it a lot better. I knew what I was getting into, so that was helpful. I really like, you know, as far as his earlier movies go, it seemed like he was trying to imitate other people too much. But now I really feel like he's sort of come into his own. I'm really excited about any film that he does. Who else is in this? Reese is co-starring with Joaquin Phoenix, who of course was her co-star from Walk the Line. They played John and June Cash, right? Johnny Cash? Right, John, that's accurate. Benicio del Toro is also in this one. Jenna Malone, who is in Sucker Punch and also Catching Fire. Maya Rudolph from SNL. Josh Brolin, of course, and Owen Wilson. Nice. Very, very cool. Here's a movie that got delayed. Was supposed to come out this year. It's coming up next year. So I'm eagerly awaiting this. It's the next Sin City movie, A Dame to Kill For. Now, don't put any money on this, but I have a feeling that the reason why Rodriguez wanted to delay this movie, not only to just work on the effects and everything like that, but Rodriguez said when the first Sin City movie came out that he wanted to eventually put all of Frank Miller's books on digital, on, you know, whatever the recording devices use now that isn't film, but movie-ize them, all of them, cinemize all of those books. So this movie is going to have 3 or maybe 4 of the books in it, but there's more beyond that. So if he is keeping the cast together to film all of them, all of the footage necessary to complete it, then maybe there'll be 2 films coming out, or maybe he'll have like some special set come out on DVD and Blu-ray. Or maybe he'll put them on cable. I have no idea. You know, I mean, he could do anything at this point. You know, he's a real do-it-yourself type guy, Mr. Rodriguez. And of course, he's co-directing with Frank Miller, so they may take some different tactic altogether. Machete Kills did not do all that great, but then again, I guess it didn't need to. I really didn't like the movie very much, or the first Machete, but, you know, Sin City is a really cool movie, and I'm looking forward to seeing them dramatized, especially since Eva Green is going to be playing the Dame in A Dame to Kill For. Ava Lord is the character's name, and I thought, gee, it would be awesome if she played that character, and then they announced it a few days later. I don't know how that happened. A lot of the usual people from Sin City, some are replaying their characters. Clive Owen, Mickey Rourke, Rosario Dawson. And Jamie Chung is taking over the role of Miho. Dennis Haysbert is taking over the role that Michael Clark Duncan played. In addition, you've got Josh Brolin, who is in Planet Terror, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Christopher Maloney from Law & Order SVU, Ray Liotta, Jeremy Piven again. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll come out like in September, I think. Now, the trailer that I saw earlier this week that I got super pumped for and maybe want to do this whole video is Noah. I am super excited to see this one. Darren Aronofsky has gotten a lot of acclaim for his last 2 movies, The Wrestler and Black Swan, but I didn't like them as much as a lot of other people because I missed the Aronofsky style, the visual style from his earlier pictures, like The Fountain and Requiem for a Dream. Noah brings it back. The trailer is just spectacular, looks epic. Originally, he was going to have a big budget for The Fountain, and he had to cut it back when Brad Pitt dropped out, and he had to scramble to do it a different way with Hugh Jackman. But it looks just amazing. Russell Crowe, of course, plays Noah. Anthony Hopkins plays his father. Jennifer Connelly plays his wife. Emma Watson plays his daughter. Super excited. Aronofsky's a very, very interesting guy, and I'm looking forward to seeing a really stunning epic, which it looks every bit that. It's coming out in March. Now, the Marvel movie that isn't part of the official Marvel Phase 2, but nevertheless is eagerly awaited by me along with a lot of other people is, of course, X-Men Days of Future Past. Bryan Singer, who did the first 2 X-Men movies, has returned to direct this one, and I'm really pumped about that. You've got the old guard from the original X-Men movies, you've got the new people from X-Men First Class, all in the same movie together with a big time travel story. Wolverine undergoes this experimental procedure that Professor X is doing to transplant his mind into his younger body, something like crazy like that, and then, you know, get the mutants who are not working together in the 70s to work together to stave off the threat of annihilation of some kind. Peter Dinklage, of course, is in this movie. He plays Bolivar Trask, who is the guy who apparently builds the Sentinels, the mutant hunting flying robots or something like that. I don't really know a whole lot about the storyline, but it's based on a particular storyline from the X-Men books. So seeing all those people in the same movie is going to be really, really cool, and yeah, that's definitely something to be to get worked up about. However, the movie I'm looking forward to most, of course, is by my favorite director, David Fincher. It is Gone Girl. It is based on the novel by Gillian Flynn, and it is about a man whose wife goes missing, and suspicion falls on him, especially since he's having an affair. Ben Affleck plays the main character. Rosamund Pike is his wife. Neil Patrick Harris is in this. Casey Wilson from Happy Endings, Patrick Fugit. Tyler Perry plays a role. And Ben Affleck's mistress is played by none other than Emily Ratajkowski, who is the brunette from the Blurred Lines video. She's an actress too. She isn't just a model who gets topless, but she is an actress too. She was on, you know, one of the Disney shows when she was little. Anyway, always excited about anything Fincher does, so that is definitely number one for me. So, come on over to my Facebook fan page. If you're not watching this on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube instead, come on over to Facebook, links below, and let me know what you're looking forward to see next year. And of course, there's a few movies in 2015 that I'm looking forward to as well. That's a little bit too far off to get into right now. Avengers 2. Yeah. Oh, and a Peanuts movie. Paul Feig from Bridesmaids, he's doing a Peanuts movie, a CGI animated Charlie Brown movie. Neat. And Mission Impossible 5. And Star Wars. And, you know, many others. Later, guys. See ya.